Hey you guys, Tomboy601, and today a little bit of a different video. Not going to be talking too much about warships, but instead talking about Queen Elizabeth. Not the ship that we're sailing, but Queen Elizabeth II. If you're not aware, she passed away yesterday, and I think it's important just to talk about it, because I think, at least for me, one of the reasons I play this game is the fun of like diving into the history. And I think really we are living in a very historical moment, and I think it's time we take a breath, reflect on it, and really kind of talk and process it. So let's kind of do that now. Before we dive on into things, I think it's important to say, there are a lot of opinions on the British monarch, and as far as the context of this video goes, it's okay to like the Queen. It's okay not to like the Queen. I just ask that if you decide to air your grievances, you do it in a very respectful manner. I think that is kind of where I'm at it. It's okay to not enjoy the imperialism of the British monarchy, but it's also, I think, important to talk about the history of this woman, because like, to give you an idea of how long she's been around, she's been around for like 30% of the U.S.'s existence, or you could also say she's been around for 1/30th of all of history since the founding of the Roman Empire. Like, this is a monolith of a person who has shaped, who has at least seen and helped shaped the modern world that we see. And I think at this moment, I think one of the things I want to read is former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's statement about the Queen, because I think he sums it up very, very well. He says, "This is our country's saddest day. In the hearts of every one of us, there is an ache at the passing of our Queen, a deep and personal sense of a loss, far more intense, perhaps, than we expected. In these first grim moments since the news, I know that millions and millions of people have been pausing whatever they have been doing to think about Queen Elizabeth, about the bright and shining light that has finally gone out. She seems so timeless and so wonderful that I am afraid we had come to believe, like children, that she would go on and on. Wave after wave of grief is rolling across the world from Balmoral, where our thoughts are with all the royal family, and breaking far beyond this country and throughout the great commonwealth of nations that she has cherished and which cherished her in return. As is natural with human beings, it is only when we face reality of our loss that we truly understand what has gone. It is only really now that we grasp how much she meant for us, how much she did for us, how much she loved us. As we think of the void she leaves, we understand the vital role she played, selflessly and calmly embodying the continuity and unity of our country. We think of her deep wisdom and historic understanding, her seemingly inexhaustible but understated sense of duty, through her relentless through her diary, what must have felt. She never once let it show, and to tens of thousands of events, great and small, she brought her smile and her warmth and her gentle humor. And for an unrivaled 70 years, she spread that magic around her kingdom. This is our country's saddest day, because she had a unique and simple power to make us happy. That is why we loved her. That is why we grieve for Elizabeth the Great, the longest serving and in many ways the finest monarch in our history. It was one of her best achievements that she not only modernized the constitutional monarchy, but produced an heir to her throne who amply do justice to her legacy, and whose own sense of duty is the best tradition of his mother and his country. Through our voices may still be though our voices may still be choked with sadness, we can say with confidence the words not heard in this country for more than 7 decades: God save the king. And those are the words of the former prime minister, and I think it's very important because there's a couple things that did get touched on in there. One, Britain feels, or at least England, to me, Britain feels like it is at a very pivotal moment, right? We've seen them face a large amount of things going on, whether it be leaving the EU, Boris's Boris being kicked out of office, and a new prime minister who, fun fact, the first prime minister that Queen Elizabeth had was Winston Churchill, and the new prime minister, they were born 101 years apart. Like, that's it. Like, the sense of time and sense of scale that has gone on is simply incredible. And like I said, I think I'm an American. I'm not part of the Commonwealth. I just believe we do have the special relationship between the United States and England. And I just think it's important to kind of take note, because this does feel like it is the end of an era. It's the end of a long-standing monarchy or a long-standing monarch. I don't feel like we will ever have another monarch that's going to reign or is going to reign for 70 years. I think we're going to see much more staccato, much more quicker transitions in monarchy, if it even stays around. But yeah, so guys, that's just kind of my thoughts and what I wanted to get off my chest, because I think today, or at least yesterday, is a historical day. It's one that we should pause, think about it, and just kind of breathe it in and experience it. One thing people have asked, or I've had one person who keeps asking when I finish out with my actual thoughts on these videos, and I'm not actually at the end of the game, to let the game play out. So that's what I'm going to do today. Guys, let me know what you think down below. If you liked this style of news, thoughts, and opinions video, let me know. I know it's not the usual content, but guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.